What's up, guys? It's day 179. I went to pull, well, not even really to pull. I went to Table Monkeys for like the last hour, mostly just to hang out. My right's still hurting a lot, so I can't really pull right, and my left is like, oh man, my left is so like injured too, so I really can't pull much. But I just came anyways just to sort of hang out and then maybe like pull a little bit on left. And then I realized like I can just use practice to drill the setup thing that I talked about in the last video about how like I keep setting up in the wrong way, and it's okay, but like I literally never practice it, and it's like the most important thing maybe. So it's just kind of ridiculous that I never really like actually try to work on my setup. So on my way to the practice, I was like watching Mindaugas on YouTube, and like I was trying to mentally like figure out what it is, like on the subway, and people were looking at me all weird because I was doing the whole like posture and like just in the air. And I got to practice, and I was doing it on the table, like empty table, and like looking in the mirror, and then I finally realized what it is. Not even finally, I guess another thing is I actually never really studied people for their setups. And I don't exactly know why I never did, but I guess a part of it was just like this, I don't know, maybe a part of it was I was just attached to this idea that everything I do was just something that I came up with. The idea that everything I have is like something I got like myself. Because I mean, obviously, like I've gotten advice, but I feel like getting advice feels like you're adding to something that you're creating versus like when you just copy someone else's setup, as in like where are their shoulders, like it's different than getting like a piece of advice about something. But I don't know, for some weird reason, like I feel like if arm wrestling was a proper sport, you would be drilling these kind of things that like what's textbook and what's not right away. But it's still so like casual and kind of disorganized that people just kind of fuck around for years and years and years. And but anyways, I was just on watching YouTube, and then I realized I just need to lean back. Like I realized that when I come to the table, I stand up straight, and really the difference between it looking weird and looking like a hook setup versus looking more closer to what Mindaugas does is just basically I can't feel tall and stable. I need to basically, if I let go of the table, like fall backwards, kind of like shift my weight actually back. And all practice I was just trying to work on that, and it feels so weird and I hate it, and I'm just so used to standing tall and like right above my hand. Like my head being close to my hand is just so hard to separate. I feel like I just feel so like naked just trying to like do the other thing. But I just feel like I was saying this whole practice, I'm so close. Like obviously I'm not like, I don't have all the strength, but I feel like I'm so close to just really figuring something out, and just figuring out like arm wrestling. Like it sounds crazy, but I mean in the sense that like I feel like I found something that like can really maximize the strengths that I have, right? So and that's like I was talking about this a few weeks ago, but that's I think what technique is, and I feel like I'm so close, and I just need to dial this in a little bit. Like I feel like super solid. I feel like I feel super good now against like all like most styles, because like I feel like for the longest time I was happy against top rollers, and then now I feel like if I can just dial this in, I'll be so much better against hookers, and I just think I'll just be so much of a better arm wrestler. But anyways, yeah, I was just working on like, and I think like if I sort of try to exaggerate it and practice a lot, when I go to comp, I'll sort of not end up too much back to my old setup. But basically, yes, the difference is standing tall over your hand versus actually like shifting your weight back, almost like you're gonna fall backwards on your butt. Like that's at least what I've observed, and it might sound like super obvious, like maybe it's like insane that I'm just like thinking about this like it's a new discovery or anything, but it's just, I don't know, like like I just was never doing it before. And as I was thinking about this and I was thinking about what to say about the video and stuff, I was watching Matt Mask and Kalinachenko, because I bought the pay-per-view like half an hour late, so I watched like after I started watching after his match ended, so I just watched it back, and I realized Matt kind of sets up the way that I don't like. He's tall, his head right above his hand, and it sort of just makes a lot of sense because I always felt like Matt was more of a side pressure puller, and you see him like it's oddly like his style doesn't really follow like the arm wrestling math sometimes. Like sometimes he'll get hooked so easily and you're just like, how are they hooking him so easily? And I think it is basically like because, I mean, strength is of course like most important, but I think because his setup is just so tall, like he's not all in on that pronation, like pressure into the opponent's wrist, and that's why when someone can actually match his side, like sometimes he gets hooked, like, and it looks like he gets hooked so easily, like in a way that's almost surprising. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, even some of the rounds with Kalinachenko is really interesting because like it's like a textbook like example of like how much can you go without giving up too much pronation when it's top roll versus hook, and then he ended up getting curled in, and it's like, you know, did he have enough position at the end where he could get curled in and just power through, which he did one of the rounds I think he got caught, and it's like, you know, but I think obviously there's like you do get something out of it, like if you start off with that setup and then get curled in, I feel like you do get one or two really good swings at it where you have like super deep cup and you can really swing at it, but then if you can't finish there, then it's fucked. So but the thing is, I just feel like it's not sound, like it's very hit or miss, and I want something that's like actually what's the most efficient, what's the most sound, what's the most consistent. And I was talking to Sheen, and I was telling him like, yeah, I feel like my setup was totally wrong, and he was like, well, Travis like is standing tall too, and I guess that's true, but I think at the same time Travis also relies on hustling people basically, and it's also a little bit depends on getting what he wants and like a little bit of luck, and I don't want really that, and but anyways, I think it makes a lot of sense. And the one round that Matt really like went in for the like pronation and getting Sergey's wrist, like you could tell, like, I mean, he still set up kind of high, but right before the go he kind of sunk back and really got low, and that was the round that he did the best, staying out of his hand. And I guess like what that does do is like it does give you a little bit more of a side pressure hit, like you can really slam people by virtue of standing tall, and that's why like you see Matt like have so many exciting like, you know, like matches where he's just can hit to the side like wildly, and that's not possible if you're sort of leaning back, your center mass is leaning back, so it does give you that. But I mean, I don't think that really means, like, I feel like that only really works against weaker opponents anyways, and yeah, you can beat weaker guys like in a little bit cooler way, I feel, but I just feel like the more super technical correct way is to just be safe and always focus, like maximize your pressure on the opponent's wrist. Of course, like this is like a general direction, like depending on the opponent, sometimes you can't crack it no matter what your technique is, and you have to do other things. But as a sort of like, what should you aim for in the setup, and what should you aim for, like what strengths should you want to develop, I just feel like going all in on that, like pronation, like taking your opponent's wrist, I feel like that just makes so much sense. And I do think like basically Mindogs, the setup is a little bit better for that, and it's more consistent. And Matt's is like, I don't know, like it's almost like better against top rollers when you're so like tall, I've noticed. And he does do well against top rollers, but like again, like if you have a guy who can match your side and can really like carve in on you, like it's not maximally effective at keeping them out, I think, if you're so tall. So but anyways, yeah, like I guess this is like probably not even like, this is probably some like obvious shit, but I was really trying to drill that setup. And yeah, like my wrist hurt. I pulled with Lex like right out of strap, it's like okay, but in strap, as soon as I pressured it up, it was fine. I let up, and then like a second and a half later, I just got this sharp pain, and I like was like, I don't know, I like yelped, and it's just like, what is it? Like I'm like a little bit worried, because I don't know. I mean, I have 3 weeks, I guess, so hopefully it goes away. But I mean, it's been a week and it hasn't gone away, and I haven't really done any rehab. But I just feel like usually if you just, I don't know, I was expecting it to feel a lot better, and like there's gonna be a lot of pressure on it, like if I'm competing. So I don't know. Hopefully it's better. And my left, I pulled way too hard too. Like I pulled with Lex, and I got into that position, I guess, that I'm talking about a little bit, where like I had some pronation, and then as I was going to pin, I lost it, and then usually I don't know, usually I'd get disconnected right away and I just have to like give up. But like I don't know, I guess just like I had like 2 pulls where I felt like I just keep pushing, I could just keep pushing it, and then so I just did, and like I don't know, like at that point it's just literally like it's just like a dick measuring contest. Like it doesn't really, like I feel like we were just both like bicep curling super hard kind of, but yeah, my elbow is wrecked, like it's really bad. And like I'm just like, because when I don't pull left for a few days, I'm like, yeah, maybe it's okay, but then just right after practice, everyday life, I'm just like, something feels horribly wrong. Like I don't even know what it is. Like basically like I don't know, like if my arm's like sort of bent, and then I accidentally like flex my tricep, say like I'm just trying to like I don't know, like move my arm, and I'm just like flex my tricep, and it's just like crazy pain, like in my elbow, like I'm like something is wrong. Like I don't know, because I've had like UCL pain, but that's like very arm wrestling specific. This is some like degenerative shit that I feel in regular day, so it's kind of a little bit scary. But I guess, yeah, that's all like my left. I guess, I don't know, like see if I can pull again in a few days. Like maybe I'm overreacting again, and it does just get better, and somehow I can just get used to this too. But I guess we'll see about that. But I don't know if I think that's all. Thank you so much.